Hi guys, welcome back from the weekend. Let's get started on our math. You do not have anything in the practice book, only the instruction book, and you're on page 130. And now we're at the guided practice and the independent practice. We're going to do both of those on the video, and then you have one worksheet to practice on. Today's a crazy busy day, I know. Okay, ideas about multiplying fractions. So the first one, now it's giving us a picture. It's not giving us the fractions, it gave us the picture, and it said, I hope you can figure it out. So it says, tell what multiplication problem this model shows. If you remember, columns go up and down, and rows go across like row, row, row your boat. Okay, so let's look at columns. We have one column, two columns, three columns, four columns, five columns. So I know that my bottom number is going to be a 5. I'm going to take that out. Okay, how many rows across do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to delete that one. And now I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, okay, I know that I have a 5 under there and a 5 over here. Now what I have to do is think about how many are shaded in. How many of these rows are shaded in? I can see that it's 1 and then 1 right there. So 2 rows. So 2/5 times how many are colored in up and down? 3/5. So when I made my when I looked at this, I can count these little squares and I know that there are 25 of them plus 5 times 5 is. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say there are 25 little boxes. And I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are what cross each other or have a little bit of the same color in both of them. So the answer to this is 6 and 6/25. So now it says, what is the multiplication problem? 2/5 times 3/5 equals 6/25. 6 can be divided by 2 and it can be divided by 3, but not 25. So this is already simplified. You don't have to do anything else to that. Number 14, explain. These drive me crazy, but we're going to look at it together today. Landon said that 2/3 times 1/6 equals 5/6. Tell how Landon found this product and then explain how to find the correct answer. So I cheated and I went to the answer book so that I knew exactly what he did. Because you guys know I don't like these. So what it says is that Landon thought he had to find a common denominator, and he doesn't have to. If Landon had found a common denominator, this 2/3 right there would change from 2/3 to a 6, which would make it 4/6 plus 1/6, which would equal 5/6. That was his mistake right there. So as long as you can write something down there and, maybe write this all down there and write, this is the mistake. And then it says, how would you do the correct one? You multiply the numerators, you multiply the denominators. So the correct answer would be 2/18. Now I want you to know that both of these are even numbers. Even numbers are like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So we can divide both of them by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 18 divided by 2 is something. You write it in there. Number 15. Now you have to do the actual creating. So it gives us the fractions. It says, this is like it's a table. If I did 1/2 times 1/2, I would end up with 1/4. If I did 1/2 times 1/3, I would have 1/6. If I did 1/2 times 1/4, I would have 1/8. Okay. So you see what happens every time? 4, 6, 8. Next one I think would be a 10. Right. Let's go across. 1/2 times 1/2, we already have it. 1/2 times 1/3, 1/6. 1/2 times 1/4, 1/8. And so on. You can finish these 4 boxes. Okay, then the independent practice. I'm not really going to have you do much independent to it. I'm just going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to have you work on your worksheets. Use what you have learned to complete this task. However, you don't really have to fold a piece of paper. If I had a piece of paper and I folded it in half, it's saying, let's see, it says fold it in half. I just did it. And then fold it in half again. Continue folding the paper in half. As you do, fill in the blanks to tell what fraction of the whole. So I had one piece of paper and I folded it in half. That equals 1/2 now. Now, when I folded it in half again, I got 1/4. If I folded it in half this way now, I would have 1/2 times 1/4, which would give me 1/8. Now it says fold it in half again, and from 1/8, I would have, because I'm taking this number right here and moving it down to that one because I already have 8 pieces. And if I folded it in half again, I would have 1/16. Okay, now when it goes down here, it says, let's write the product. The product is your answer. So down here, it wants you to write the answer. So our first answer was 1/2. Our second answer was 1/4. Our next answer was 1/8. Last one was 1/16. So every time we fold the paper, we're doubling it. That's all you have to write right here. Every time we fold that paper, we're doubling it. Now, without folding the paper, because we don't even have a paper that we're folding, it says, what do you think the next fraction would be? So if I'm asking right here, what's going to be the next one? I hope that you know it's going to be 1/32. And then it says y. So the y is because every time we fold it, we double it. It was a 2, we doubled it. It was a 4. We doubled the 4, it became an 8. We doubled the 8, it became a 16. We doubled the 16, it becomes a 32. If we doubled the 32, it would become a 64th. Okay. Now, what happens to the sizes of all the little squares every time we fold the paper? Each time we fold the paper, the boxes get smaller. That's all there is to this one. And again, there's no practice page. So let's look at what do you have to do for work today. Today, I want you to just do a two-sided worksheet. The first one is showing me that you know how to draw the arrays in here, that you know that one way has to have 4 spaces and one has to have 3. And then you're going to do the coloring in on both of these two. Now, down here, you do not have to draw the boxes. You can just go straight across and multiply. But I do want you to find the simplified version. So you're going to have to think to yourself, can I divide it by 2? Can I divide it by 3? Could I maybe divide it by 4 or 5? And that's it. You have 2 story problems. I shouldn't have to remind you, but make sure that you label your story problems. And then this side, I'm going to do the first one with you. So let me get my comment and my pencil. This is 2/3 times 5/6. So you're going to draw your box. And one way is going to have 3 and one way is going to have 6. I'm going to go this way for my thirds. So I have 3 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, terrible drawing today. Those are not equal sizes, and they're supposed to be, but you know what I'm doing. Okay, so I've drawn 2/3 by 5/6. I know that there are how many boxes altogether? 18. And if I started coloring them in, I would end up with 10 of them colored in. So that would be the actual answer. Now, down here, it's asking you, what is the dimension of just this square? Well, because this is part of a third and part of a sixth, but it's only one part, the dimension is 1/3 by 1/6. Let's think about that again. It's saying each square, they call it a tile. So this is a tile right here. And it's one piece right here, if you can see my line going back, there's one piece of 3. And then this way it's 1 of 6. So the tile dimension is 1/3 times 1/6. You have to do that on these, and then you're done for the day. You can work on your iReady. Have a great day, and I hope to see you this afternoon.